football is America's team game. It has the most people on the field at one given time. On any Friday night, any Saturday across the country, there are people packing stadiums to go watch football. And you know what? They do go out for baseball and they go and watch other fields, but nothing like football. Football brings communities together. Football brings schools together. And that in and of itself is the majority of the reason why most people play, is because they want to be within that atmosphere. And again, every Friday night across the country in the fall, there's going to be a football stadium somewhere with a lot of people just watching football for what it's supposed to be.
You have to figure out what your position is. You have to be good at your position, and you need to be on a successful team. That's the problem. You start promoting yourself as a sophomore and a junior, and yet you're not going to be successful as an individual unless your team is successful.
I've always had that dream of playing college football, even from a little kid, just watching it on TV.
I started playing football in 7th grade, and the minute I stepped on the field, I just fell in love with the sport, and I never wanted to quit.
I think I've always had aspirations to play at a higher level after high school, probably just since I've been starting playing 4th grade.
The last game of my junior year, there was a play in the game where I really stepped up and I showed that I could take the team to a win, and I felt like I could do that for the next level, for a future college team that I could play for. I really thought I could be there and be a guy to make that big play.
After my 3rd touchdown against Swartz Creek, and I just looked at the stands and everyone was going crazy, and I love that feeling.
Well, I think that, it starts early on with any player. You got to have that a dream and a desire, that you want to play beyond high school. When you take a look at the statistics, really only about 1% of the people that play high school football ever go on to play any type of college. But you got to start with that. You have to have a passion to want to play, because when you go into college, it becomes much more like a job than it is necessarily like it is in high school. But I think you have to attend college camps. That's really the first thing you should go on early on, and you should go and visit the colleges and partake in their camps. The other thing that you should do is when you start to realize what level of football you're at, you should go out to their websites and you should fill out the athletic questionnaire and send that in, so that the school has a documentation of the fact that you're interested in going to school there. And generally they'll follow up by, hey, why don't you come out to our summer camp, where you then can be a little bit more evaluated by their coaches. Before that, though, I think that most people now, with the technology that's available, you need to put together some of your highlights. You need to try and get it in front of the college coaches to see that. And I think sometimes it's good so that you can be evaluated by the coaches to see what level of football might be best for your abilities.
There's a couple different people that have been helping me get my name out there. They're really just people around the community, such as just friends and other coaches around the league that have really just seen my potential in playing in the next level.
I really just given my name to the colleges that ask them about, what players are standouts of the team.
Coach Sesky is actually talking to a lot of coaches right now and talking me up and just trying to get my name out there right now.
Back then, you had newspapers. You made all city, all state, and it showed up in the newspaper one day. Today, you have streaming video, and you can Google somebody's name. You get the newspaper and you can Google the guy's name and look at his highlight film in 2 minutes and decide whether you like him or not.
send them film, I send them information about myself. I always send an email, at least once a week. I'll send an email to all the coaches that I've been talking to, all the schools I've been talking to.
They send me emails, coaches call me every weekend, and then I'm taking visits actually in January.
They have contacted me through emails, phone calls, sit-down sessions after games. They've just came up, been upfront with me and let me know that they've been looking at me for a while now, and they think that I have the potential to come play for them.
When I was recruited, it was like night and day from today. The electronics, the video, the YouTubes, everything that happens didn't happen then. The only film we had of each other was on 8mm film that our coaches had for the teams. It was 99% done through high school coaches and recruiters in schools. They would come to the school, they would ask to see film, they'd see the film there, and I think if there's anything consistent about how it was done then, from then and now, it's that the coaches still are the primary conduit piece to all of the scholarships.
If you have a great year and your team has a great year and you got a little bit of a hook or a story, you'll get recognized. You'll get recognized by the reporters, and then that'll go viral in some cases. Everybody wants to look at the article. And then what the coaches are looking for is they're looking for needs. And then they look for the best athlete in that need. And for example, they'll look at the film and they'll see the pros and the cons, and then they'll take them up and work them out, verify the strengths, and identify the weaknesses, whether it be bench press or 40-yard dash or pass coverage or things like that. And then they'll make a determination: is he the right character guy?
Most are looking for the best people that they can bring into their school, but most all of them have some sort of a profile of size and speed that they're looking based on the position that you play. And so they're going to look to see how you fit. How are your feet? How fast are you? Do you have good hips? How strong are you? Are you 6'5" or are you 6'1" and play offensive line? At the college level, they're looking for big people most of the time that play up front. So they're going to look at that, but they generally follow up right after that with they're checking on your academics, because they also want to see somebody that's going to fit the recruiting profile of their institution that they work for.
It's hard work, leadership. I've always had leadership when it comes to sports, and even in everyday life at school or during the summer, I've always led people to do right things. I've stuck out among my peers.
I think what really separates me from the rest of the teammates that I play with is really my dedication, my hard work, and just all the time I put in after hours after practice.
Every coach has got 40, 50 players, and no coach has the time to contact all the different schools. We're mailed literature. We put what we think our best players are that have the opportunity to play at the next level. We do send those out.
Okay, so I went from playing 3 sports to playing 1. So I would have football practice in the fall, basketball practice in the winter, and baseball practice in the spring. And in the summertime, I'd start working out for football again. However, when you get to college, it was year-round. We started working out when I went there as a freshman. We started practicing in September, went to a bowl game, had January off, had a little bit of February off, officially, but they'd still like to see you around the weight room, and you would migrate to the weight room after a while. March, you had spring ball. March and April. And then some folks went home for the summertime. Most of us stayed up in Ann Arbor, and we just continued to work out throughout the summertime and do our regiment and do our jobs and get ready for the fall.
I do go to Acceleration. I go to Genesis every weekend. I work with Nate Schaefer and my students. Without football, I don't think I'd be who I am today.